I like to look at things in the light of God, understand them, and recently I saw this story of a young man who ate like a slug off the ground because of a dare, their friends, and he died later from it. And I was curious, like, why does things like this happen? Like, what is this about? And then I started to look into it, like I said, in the light of God, right? First I read some comments, and somebody wrote that it was like the lesson is not to eat insects. No, it isn't. That's not the lesson. That's not how things look in the light of God, by the way. This is how a spiritually unwise, I'm not going to say a very stupid person thinks, but as a teacher, this is a stupid teaching, because you don't really need a teacher to teach this lesson to anybody, right? Anybody who reads this story, a young man ate something insect off the ground and died, you know, you don't need to be told the lesson that you're not supposed to do that. So this as a teacher, you know, hindsight 2020, it's not even 2020, he's blind completely when he's giving this lesson. You're not supposed to eat, you know, insects. Anyway, I just want to rant about that a little bit. Like I said, I want to look things in the light of God, and it's so much superior to anything that is perceived like this. Even this child who ate the insect knows he's not supposed to eat it. That's why it was a dare. Like what a stupid teaching. Anyway, in the light of God, this story looks different. He died because of friendship, and that's not a bad reason to die. There was another comment that somebody left, which is kind of revealing. And he's talking about the friend group that was left behind, and how they're changed men because of this. And of course they are. If you think about things clearly, you can understand how that would be a huge thing for teenagers. Like a friend group would change completely from an event like this. When I was a kid, I was like playing with fire. We were just like snot-faced punks. When we went to different schools, we stopped talking to each other completely, because there was never anything real between us. Nothing really bound us together. It was like a friendship of convenience, because we went to the same school and stuff. Then we hanged out after the school. This friend group, however, has something real, and they'll know each other for the rest of their lives. I'm pretty sure. And they have learned and matured in ways that most teenage idiots will not. Maybe ever in their whole life. So this is something that you can look at. For friendship he died, and the friends benefited from it. And this is something that is in scripture. You have to put on your big boy pants when you start to think like this. Like, this person died because of his friends, and the friends benefited from it. And this is God's will. The Lord gives this parable of there being some kind of a tree. I don't remember which one is it. Was it a fig tree or something? But it wasn't bearing fruit year after year. And the gardener said, you know, don't cut it down yet. Let me put fertilizer around it first. So maybe it will grow something then. You know, help it out. And I think that's what's happening here in this story. The boy who died, he laid down some fertilizer for his friends. And they benefited of it. Right? Like, this is a true thing. Unless you are so stupid and blind and idiotic that you will tell me that, nah, this is all nonsense. It doesn't actually matter that their friend died like this. No, they don't care. You have to be that kind of a person to deny scripture, the truth. And I started to think about it some more. You know, obviously that's fantastic, that good things come from stuff like this, you know. Maybe that's the lesson. It's not just don't eat insects. The lesson is that even when things are bad, you know, something good can come from it. Something that's forever. Like on the day of resurrection, this boy who died, he will look at his friends, and it's a happy moment of reunion, isn't it? But I started to think about it more, you know. If he laid down the fertilizer, how can we also become his co-workers? Because the person who lays down the fertilizer, right? Well, you need to do more than that for things to grow. First of all, you have to plant something in it as well. If this is like now fertile soil that has nutrition in it, how can we plant seeds in it so something good can grow from it? Okay, and this is what I came up with. Well, if he died for friendship, why did he have to die for friendship like this? And I started to think about, if I was a parent, right? Why didn't I do enough teaching and parenting that my child would know what friendship is all about and the things you can do for your friends? I think what the parents of this child who died this way should have done, I'm not gonna blame them, I'm not gonna blame them, but I don't know them, I don't know their story, but for the purposes of this example, really, what they should have done is told their children all the best stories about their childhood and how they had friends and the things they did that were not so stupid as to, oh, you have to be dared to eat like slugs off the ground for their, joy. And this is something that you can apply. This is a real good lesson you can apply to everybody. Every parent should teach their children, these lovely stories they have from their childhood about the things they did with their children. I mean, their friends, all the happy moments, the joys, the exciting adventures that did not involve doing something moronic, something that's harmful probably, or disgusting, or degrading. Everybody has good stories like this that they love, and you can show that love to your children and they will be influenced by it, this force of good, right? Like I'm saying, I'm not judging the parents of this child who died, not at all, but if they had done this enough times, at least this is how it works in my mind, right? If they had done this enough times to their child would have been like, no, we can have fun, doing something different. Like with my parents, they did things like that, instead of eating disgusting things off the ground. This sounds a bit naive, I noticed when I was editing the video. It's not naive. If the parents are cool people, they will have cool stories to impart onto their children. Of course, if the parents are dumb and worthless, then no, they can't really influence their child in a good way. But if they do have cool stories, happy moments with their friends, adventures and stuff like that, then this is something that they can teach their children as well. And they don't have to resort to, whatever dumb idea they get from TikTok or something. But yeah, I can't judge at all, and I don't want to. Like, when I was a kid, I ate like soil off the ground. When it was recess. I don't remember why I did it, but I kind of remember that there was like plants in it or something as well. You just do stuff like that as a kid. I don't remember a single story that my own parents told me about the good times they had with their friends. I ate soil off the ground. I don't think those two things are completely unrelated. And I'm not even judging my own parents. That's not what the fertilizer is for, that this boy laid down. It's for so things can grow. That's what Christ was getting at. That's the lesson here.